And hello once again, everybody. This is the Tyrell Nathan Show, sharing your stories with Tyrell Nathan. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in once again. We're happy to have you here. Thank you so much. I have my friend here, Kemi, trusted friend, and we're discussing what are we talking about, Kemi, tonight?
Workplace romance.
Corporate romance, yay!
I need a gong and you just go gang 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 gang. Woo!
Romance, romance. Okay, not that okay, cool.
I love it.
well, welcome romance, eh? So let's get right into it. We don't have a lot of time tonight, and our time is fast spent as it is. So last week, let's recap. We had a bit of statistics on workplace romance, and does it happen? Is it a fad? Have you been caught in it? What do you think? And so, what are the statistics? Can you tell me?
Oh yeah, so we said 48% of people that were there were 4,000 respondents. 48% of them would date a coworker. 21% have had to quit their job as a result of dating a coworker.
Well,
22% had admitted to dating their boss or their manager, which is usually a no-no in this type of relationships, of course. And then 6% started their romances in the winter months, office Christmas parties,
mm,
and 36% have had affairs. So they've either been with a married person, they've been married, or they left their partners just to be together. And of course, we hear that 84% of employers are not happy when their employees are dating. Obviously, that is because sometimes it can get counterproductive. I mean, we shared some really cool stories yesterday, but when it's good, it's fantastic. Everyone's working together, everything's great. You have someone doing twice as much work for you and all of that. And a romantically happy employee is a
it's
productive
very
employee,
productive.
very productive. You don't have any underlying condition. Everything you need is within your reach. So you're working late because the person you're working with is there. So all of that good stuff comes in. And sometimes you feel it works out in some cases when you're trying to impress your lover and you're just doing more so they can be like, oh, I'm so proud of my man, kind of thing. But then the corollary of that is if it doesn't work out, then there's things like, oh, I'm getting harassed, there's issues around, for people are upset about favoritism. Why is it that this guy is getting this and everybody's not? Is it because partner is this or our partner is that? So there's always those kind of issues there. But all in all, like it's the reality of life. Because let's face it, we spend so much time at work that that we get to meet people at work and socialize. Because 8 hours a day with people compared to what you do at home, where you just So I see it. I definitely see it. I can make a case for it. So yeah,
I
that's my thing.
I hear you that I'm gonna do a catchphrase, print a sticker and say a romantically happy employee is a very productive employee. You'll be surprised at how that makes sense. Usually when people are happy and they're super happy, they're very productive. And happiness, comes all different dimensions. So romantically happy, emotionally happy, So what is COVID-19 doing to this workplace romance? Because if half of us are working from home, what happens to work with romance? How does and you know what I said to our viewers, I'm not for or against it. I'm not an employer, I'm an employee. Maybe I'm against it a bit because it gets counterproductive when you're cutting the cost fires, as you mentioned. But how is COVID affecting our love lives? Actually, does you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that because a lot of romances happen, off site. It's usually when you're working with someone, then you find out, they have a pen on their desk that reminds you of something. It's not when you're sending emails, someone's like, oh, you're cute, and you're like, you're cute too. It usually happens outside of that. But with COVID nowadays, we're not at work, there's no water cooler chat. You're not going to the
Mm,
bathroom and see this pretty girl or pretty boy and be like, oh, I got to get that number. So I think that will be a limiting factor. Also, for romances that were budding, now that we're all working from home, you don't see each other as much. Absence makes the mind grow fonder. And when we're in the
mm,
office, we used to go out for coffees a lot. Like I
mm,
know I had my coffee buddies back in the day where you get to work, you take your bags off, you got to tell them everything happened the night before. Like, big ups to Abhishek wherever it is, but like that was my 9:45. Like, it was my calendar. So wake up, I'm like, okay, when is in? Because it comes to 9:30, puts his bag down, washes his hands, like, okay, coffee time. I'll go for coffee, we'll catch up on everything, come back. And that's how that, like, if we were, I guess if we were to have been in a relationship, that's how that sort of thing would have started. I see it. Because as you're going with your coffee buddies, you're seeing everybody with your coffee buddies, you're seeing people that are in questionable relationships, when you're like, what's going on there? We don't know. But with COVID now, is where are you going to be going for coffee with every day? Is this someone you're calling at 9:45 while your husband is in the next room, or you're all by yourself? And you remember, because right now everyone's super busy with work, right? So you don't have time. You try to. I know I try to make time with my team to sort of have offside just gist, but this is too much work. I don't have time
Yeah,
for that.
I hear you there. COVID has kind of put a damp on our romantic lives all around, really. I heard the rate of divorce went up during this pandemic, because suddenly people can't go out, people can't vent. And maybe that is why divorce went up, because suddenly people don't have their office romances anymore. And that is now impacting their lives at home. Because, listen, you're definitely bored with the guy you're with at home, right? As well. I don't
I
know about
didn't. I don't know. I'm
I
just.
feel
I'm
like
just.
office is a let off. The steam, you let off your steam at work, and then suddenly you're working at home, you're eating at home, you can't run away from your children. For those of us, for those people who feel they need to run from their children, and then suddenly, yeah, so divorce rate is up, office romance is down, and employers are happy, And I'm just here to tell you guys that office romance is a thing. Honestly, this is one of those fun shows. So, I'm doing a live piece this week.
Yeah.
So kind of touch on something that nobody ever talks about, but we do here at the Tire Nathan Show. For those of us who want to hear something refreshing, join us. So, last week we promised that we're going to read stories of people. We did a Google form. Yes, we did. I'm so proud of myself. We did a Google form, and we got stories. We have four stories, four life stories. I don't know that we're able to go through them all and comment on them this tonight. But for anybody who's out there who want to comment, please, who wants to comment, please send us a comment. We'll be happy to respond. Let's discuss the stories. Let's just have fun together talking about what is it, office romance. And remember, a romantically happy employee is a productive employee. Well, the first story, I'm going to read it. No word of a lie. Printed it out. Look, I printed it out. So, the title of the story is "Have you fallen in love with a coworker, manager, or boss?" Tell us more. Yes, this person has fallen in love with a coworker or a manager, a boss. A few years ago, I worked at a contract center making the contact center making collection calls for a third-party company. It was ongoing center, and we had really weird shifts, and the manager structure was rather off. One night after a late shift, one of the floor managers offered me a ride home. As we were exiting the building and turned out we were neighbors, and it was quite a ride. We hit it off instantly, and one thing led to another, and so we started our little romance.
Ooh.
They hit it off instantly, and one thing led to another, and they started off their little romance. I was seeing
Ooh.
someone inappropriately at the time, and it was good for me. He helped with work and scheduling so we could be off together. But then you learn quickly that working with
Oh,
someone you are not so into is such a recipe for disaster.
oh,
He
that's
was
terrible.
always at my desk,
Oh, that's terrible.
and over time, I just wanted to end things because the other person I was trying to move away from suddenly wanted more, and I didn't
Mm.
know how to break things off. Wait a second. Are these two people? Am I reading this right? Oh,
If I'm hearing what you're saying, what I'm hearing is that this person, got to meet their
manager.
manager.
They
So
hit
they
it off.
started something, they hit it off. And that one was giving her good, or giving him, I don't know, is it he or her? I didn't,
Because
he
there's
or
no
she.
text here.
Okay,
So
I'm assuming
we're
that
checking this
I'm
right.
assuming it's a lady.
Yeah,
Okay.
that person is a lady.
Yes, but then I also read that the person was also trying to get away. So it almost seems like they were two timing. Like they had a boyfriend, that thing where you have an outgoing boyfriend, so you get an incoming one, so you can let the outgoing one go. Is what I'm
Okay.
getting. But then
Well,
it now seems like water
okay,
past
so
Gary
this might
when.
this might be a happy ending because it says it was such a good sport about
Oh,
it. Confronted me and I told him I wasn't interested, and then I never saw him again. However, my shift after we had a hurry. Wait, hold on, I'm not reading
wait,
it.
it sounds
However,
like someone broke up. Like a good spot about it. And wait,
Oh, okay. So it says, however, my shifts after that were horrible, and I didn't feel I could tell anyone. So I just found a way to switch my shift until I got a new job. So then
uh,
because we were working with their shift manager after they broke up, things went south. Oh wow. Thank you, whoever sent this to us. I know you're probably watching us, so thank you so much. I'm sorry that I didn't read the story properly, but thank you. Wow, this is interesting. So you fell in love with your
let's dissect that one.
so
So
you fell
the
in love with
thing,
a duty manager.
hmm,
Mm-hmm.
while you were in another relationship and then you left.
Just
Oof.
this one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what we talked about when things go south, right? Like with other relationships, when things aren't working out anymore, you say bye, all the best, don't call my number again.
Mm-hmm.
God be with you. You guys go your separate ways. Maybe you meet each other at church. They sit on the left, it's on the right,
Mm-hmm.
or or you have the same circle, or you're in class together.
Mm-hmm.
But then at work, when things aren't as rosy, because relationships. I was listening to this guy on the weekend, and I was saying how he doesn't like that talking stage of relationship, that when you're courting someone, you're dating someone, that is the talking stage, really. Because think about it, you don't date someone that you know everything about them. What are you now doing? It's just to buy them chips and biscuits. Then you might as well marry them, and that's the rest of it for the rest of your life. But that whole dating stage is when you get to know them. Okay, should we go for salsa this evening? Are you adventurous? What are you like? Those are the kind of you
Mm-hmm.
getting to know. It's that companionship of let's
Mm-hmm.
do something together. And in a working situation, you have to leave that. My dad always says something about when you're in a friendship, always leave that space for when you fight.
Oh
With
well,
work,
you,
you
you
can't
can't
fight.
leave that
You
space
can't.
for when you
There's no
fight.
fight, because when you fight, then you're done. Because imagine situation now, or imagine you talked about this. I think last week when we talked about married couples and when you're fighting at home and you take it to the office, like what's gonna happen when you get there? All of a sudden, you're on the phone and you're assigning duties to your wife that is angry with you. But that won't take it.
I don't like I don't know that I don't know that I want to date a manager at work because what if he does something? What if he gets an email from upper management and they say I didn't do something right, and he has to be the one to tell me the news that I was. There are instances where you get an email from upper management, they don't understand the situation, but somehow you get blamed for something. This is just I don't know. I'm just putting out the example. And this guy that you're dating, who you're romantically in love with, is the one that is supposed to tell you this news, and then you're like, but who do you agree with? Who are you gonna defend? Who are you gonna fess up for? And then it becomes an issue. Yeah, dating your duty manager. Look, listen, no judgments here, but
It's a no, and that's why they have office policies that
look,
don't allow
listen,
you to do it.
you you can't hurry love. It's whoever you fall in love with. It really. I have another story that is exactly opposite of this, and it ended up in praises.
Well,
Yes, it did. So who am I to say in this day and age you're getting so much insular? COVID has restricted us socially. If it's at work, you find the guy. It's at work, you're going to find the guy. That's nothing. It's
yeah, it's
nothing.
just you have to consider that whole thing of. I feel like employers, if they find out that their employees are dating, they shouldn't discourage them, but they should make sure that they should separate them, because it's more productive for everybody if you found your relationship, we're happy for you. But then what now happens? What is the impact? Okay, now think about a new guy coming into a company on the first week, or a new girl coming to company on the first week. The guy that's training her is a person that she likes, and they're both single, and they start dating, and all of a sudden, things are working well at the time, but the person now finds out all these crazy things about this person. Oh, is a serial cheater, is it this, is it that? But now you stop working with that person. What happens? No, what happens?
You have to quit the job. But I'll tell you
Exactly.
what though. I'll tell you what though. Nothing comes in between me and my dollar. So like I'm just saying, me, there's no way, no kind of romance will get into be between me and that dollar. It's just the principle. There's money and there's love, and we separate those things so they don't mesh. That's my
Yeah.
principle.
I can share one of my stories if you want.
Go
It's
ahead, go ahead, share your story, and I have
yeah.
and then I think that might be our time. So yeah, go ahead and share your story.
So there
Uh,
was this there was once a couple, they
Tell
got
that story.
into it. They got into it, and they worked on the in the same, of course, same floor, but not in the same group, same around kind of thing. But they kept on the down low, so no one knew they were dating and all of that. In comes, so A and B were dating, and then C comes in the picture, and C doesn't, it's not aware because you're not in the inner circle, so you don't know. Maybe like everybody in the inner circle kind of knows. So people would make jokes about the relationship and laugh, but no one ever came out to say, "Oh, these guys are a couple,
Mhm.
lovey-dovey." When they go home at night, maybe one will go left, one will go right, and they'll meet up in the corridor and then walk, so nobody would see them together. So it's very discreet. But those in the inner circle kind of knew. I was in the inner circle, so I knew. Um, and then as it were, this third person comes in and like the girl, so starts to make advances at her. And as is the nature of men who are courting you, would take her for coffee, would after work all of them would hang out, and it thought they were building something together, because obviously it was buying her coffee. When they go out and she's not there, maybe he'll bring her popcorn for her. Oh, you didn't come out with us, I brought you popcorn.
This is the new
Like,
guy
this is
bringing
a new
out
guy.
this stuff.
New, yeah. And the girl's like, "You're bringing me food. I'm eating it. Like, oh, like, what you gonna do?" So I think finally the guy, after months and months of courting this girl, built up the courage to kind of profess his love or something. And then she's like, "Yo, dude." At that time they had gotten married.
They got married secretly and they didn't tell anybody.
Like they didn't, it was a very close circle. At the time when the person finally came out and said something, they got him. I was like, "Yo, great,
And they were still working together and
we're
they
still
got
working
married.
together, got married, like I
And
got
this
a
guy
house
didn't
and
know.
this guy didn't know." Guy lost
Oh,
it, guy lost it. Like, why would you be with
scandal.
me, blah 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 blah. And
This is unfair. She keeps collecting his coffee and
I
his.
feel like, but like, okay, so here's the thing about that. Like, if as a group of people, we are all like, we're all a bunch of people, and you're buying, like, it's not, how do I put it? It wasn't a direct. I wouldn't think if someone was buying me coffee, or if you're going downstairs and they're like, "Do you want to come?" and I say no, and you bring me my favorite treat, I would thank you. I would thank you and I would eat it. Because
Yeah,
in my mind,
this is the Shonda Rhimes moment, Kemi. That's a scandalous scandal that just happened.
I don't know. I
It's
don't.
the
Is it?
Shonda
Is
Rhimes moment.
it? Is it?
It is.
I just think of it as, oh, this person's very nice. They're buying me treats. They really like me. How many times? Like, I remember there was a time somebody used to leave chocolates at my desk every day because it's knows that I like chocolate,
Mhm.
and it became a witch hunter. Like, who has been leaving chocolates on my desk every day? And it turns out it was someone that I've been talking, like I've been, well, we're doing clues together, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, so all of this time that I've been guessing the wrong person, and I've been going to their desk and sitting there and thanking them, you couldn't say anything. You know what I mean? So back to this person story. So when it finally came out that, oh, she has a man and everything, oh, lost it, lost it so much that he had to, yeah, like they had to change jobs and all of that just to get separated. And even after that, there's still incidents of, or I really like you, why are you not talking back to me? I know you're married, but divorces happen. Yeah, yeah, like
You said
it was
divorce happened. This is
no, like it was like intense. Yeah,
yeah. That's like I said, it's a scandalous moment.
it was
Once
scandalous.
again,
Hmm.
wow. Once again, guys, we're discussing workplace romance. What can happen? What can go wrong? True life stories. This is getting really, really hot and sizzling. Wow.
So yeah,
Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
so
Wow. I am.
that one did not end well.
I did not know that that one did not
I
end.
mean, for Mr. C, for Miss A and Mr. B, that was a
They
perfect
probably sit together
romance.
at night and laugh about the guy in their little romantic moment, and they're laughing and they're. That is so not cool. You see, you should just not date at work. You know what? You should just not date at work, and that's just what it is because it's very
Yeah, no,
kind of
it's very dicey, right? Like, cause you never know, cause you never know that you never know what's going on, right?
no.
You just you get into it, you're doing your own thing, you're trying to be your best, and there's someone out there who has sinister thoughts, and you don't know because you're just trying to be, you know, yeah,
Yeah. So I have a
yeah.
story, another
Oh,
story. Because today,
yeah.
yeah, I know, right? We have four stories. I have another
Yay.
story, and it's I'm gonna read it out. I actually wrote it out. So somebody had called me. They were too shy to share the name, and they were too shy to what is the word I'm looking for? They were too shy to share the name, and they were too shy to. So they just tried it. I'm trying to read it in third person, so it
Mm.
doesn't become too obvious for those of us who were involved in that situation. So, so I'm going to read it. A cousin's friend. So this is one of those Nigerian American story, but it
Well,
happened.
you should have sent it to me. Let me like I could have read it because I wasn't there. You
Well, I
know.
wasn't. This a friend of mine sent it, so it wasn't. I wasn't there either. But
Oh, okay. So you
I'm
just
trying
okay.
I'm trying to give a context. So there's this rich girl. She left Nigeria at a young age, goes to America to get to study, and she studies abroad. And she comes from a rich family, so that's very important. Key. She
Mm.
comes from a super rich
Mm.
family. She goes abroad and she studies um
Something fun.
something fun, and so she works in a big financial institution, like a correct babe, right? On top of her game, beautiful and all that. But then, they told me she was a little bit on a big side, so she's a little chunky, just like me, Bill, chunky. And so, but with the Nigerian pressure, she was very desperate, right? Well, I don't know if she was very desperate, but the understanding was that because there's a lot of pressure put on her for her to get a
Married.
husband or to get married, so that she was working, she was educated, she had
She done it all. She done it all. She was at the next phase in
she
life.
was at the adventures of her life. She
Mm.
had done everything, accomplished what she needed to accomplish. She was doing great for herself. So her mom is coming over to the US every day, every year. Hey, when are you gonna get married? I just bought a shoe for Mama Johnson. So where is your own? The standard Nigerian pressure. So she
Yeah.
got anyway. So they go to one of these parties, one of those Irish parties, and she meets a guy. And the guy is a rich guy also. Well, honestly, I don't know if the guy is really rich, but the way the story I understand is that he's a designer, some kind of a designer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know where this story is going. Continue.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, I have comments. I'm going to stop right now and look at the comments because I'm very excited.
There was just feedback on the last story I told, and
Ah,
how it was
oh,
so
you said it
scandalous.
already. Oh, quite a
Yes.
scandalous moment there. Thank you, Mr. Babichaye. For Mr. C. Sadly, guys, don't joke around. Sadly, guys, don't joke about that, Sha. Oh, we're not joking about it for Mr. Bamisha. So we're not joking about it. No, we're just trying to say that it's rough. It's not easy. But thank you for commenting. We're really excited. Thank you so much. So back to my story. So she got introduced to this really rich guy in a probably rich background, and of course, so the guy tells us the guy's a designer, one of those professions, a designer of maybe clothes, outfit, cars, jewelry. I don't know. Travels
Mm.
around. They go to
Designer show.
yeah, they go to Dubai, they go to Vegas, they go to all the places. So the girl, they're buying each other. So money is not a concern, right, between them, or maybe the girl is footing the bill, thinking that money is not a concern between them. And
Mm.
so all along, so the girl falls in love with the guy because all this while, this is a rich-looking, nice, cute guy.
Mm.
And every time, but the guy keeps complaining, oh, you're not my type, you're not my type. But you know what? You have a good behavior, but you're not my type, you're not my type, you're not my type. I'm going somewhere, guys, stay with me. And he keeps saying, you're not my type, because why? Because she's a bit, big, chunky. And so
Mm.
eventually, to try to be this guy's type, she enrolls in a gym,
Oh Lord.
you she was in this gym, and then one of the first things she does is, she gets a trainer. She gets this trainer who is single, who is ripped, who is just cherry on top of the cake for women who are, yeah,
Mm.
like a nice, solid looking guy, you know, but a Nigerian also, but from a different tribe, right? From
Oh,
a different tribe. I'm not gonna say the tribe. So then the romance blooms, right? So
okay.
I don't even know if this is workplace romance. I guess it is workplace
It
romance.
is okay romance because she met him at his work.
She met him as work, and the guy wants
Mm.
her now because now he's really training her, and they're spending all their time together. And then, but this guy's just a gym trainer working, a trainer.
They
So
make money, all those children. Don't let them lie to you. They make a lot of money.
they make
That's
a lot of money, but
yeah. But
I
compared to this thinking rich girl that's always going to Dubai with my boyfriend,
yeah, right,
I get it.
And so she so there's a bit of an income disparity there. And of course, and this gym trainer guy is not the same kind of guy, the mom, that has been showing her should be for
Of
Mama Joseph's
course,
children or Mama Peter's children. It's not the same kind of
guy she
pedigree
expected.
she's looking for. And so but the romance blooms, they
Mm.
fall in love. And so then it becomes a problem. How does she tell the other guy who is always complaining? So this guy is based out of Nigeria, jets in once in a while, and then
Yeah,
they go and then so anyway, eventually she tells him. And then family goes, whoa, what? You broke up with who? Why? When? Who allowed you? Do you know what we've done in the background? Do you know who his father is? Do you know who his mother is? Do you know who and this guy that's feeling like sulky and is sad at this fat girl in quotes, and I'm saying this in quote, dumps him because in his entire life he didn't think that
that could happen. But
that
you don't like you treat her like crap. Like let's face it, let's deal with the issues one at a time. Let's close the work first for a second. You treat her like crap. Like I get it. We're not everybody's type, you know. Like I've dated men that I have this really good friend. All of his girlfriends are like they're chunky, like they're chunky. I've
seasonally
seen them.
plum.
But that's
Or it's called seasonally plum. That's,
seasonally plump. My
that's
apologies.
the
I'm a big girl too, but when
word.
I say like, this girl's like like they're they're nice, really big, seasonally plump, lovely, bodacious women. That's what he's into. No, it's true, but that's what he's into, and he's like he kills himself at the gym. He loves a nice like he doesn't 0% fat on the body, but all of his lovers have to come with thickness. Like you have to have a minimum amount of thickness, but that's what he's into. That's the only thing that's what would do it for him. I know many guys like that, and they don't discriminate like with what they like. They don't go around saying, "Oh, I see that girl, she cute, she's like a size zero. I'm gonna go after her." No, they go after what they like. But now you see a girl, she has everything that you want in a woman, but the shape of her body, and you cannot look past that. And you keep putting that in her face. Oh, you're a nice girl. I can take you home to mommy. You're doing well, but you just a little. If you could trim a little bit, just
Well,
a little,
un-
one size, two sizes. Like no,
unfortunately, guys are moved by what they see.
they move. I get that, but
You
if you're
don't get
not
to see
into
my
that,
brain. You don't get to see my heart. You just get to see what I look like.
but if you're not into, but my thing is, we all have our types. My type is smart, and I say that with my full chest because if you line up everybody I've ever dated, the only thing that you'll see that they have in commonality is the fact that they're all very smart. I'm not, and that's like with my hand on my chest. All the people that I've dated, the one thing they have in common is this person is intelligent. You can't say, oh, but he's tall, but yeah, this one is short. That's the only thing that they have in common.
Mhm.
So you have that, and that's me. So when I see people who are like, oh, you're very nice, everything is there, but they can trim a little. If you can just go to the gym small, that's not nice. That's like, I mean, those are things you can change, but what happens to, oh, let's get on a healthy lifestyle together. How about I pay for your gym membership? How about we work out together as a
You're
couple?
crossing into the realm of true love at that point. Yeah, what
Yeah,
we're talking
so
about is
yeah,
workplace romance.
workplace romance. So let's go back to it. So that's so I like again, as I was saying, I feel nothing for the guy that lost out.
Well,
He
I've
didn't
not
want it.
finished the story.
Sorry, continue. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Anyway,
Just my blood is just hot.
but I hear you. I hear you because as it turns out with this story, so by this time though, this girl breaks up with him, so they reconnect. So the guy, of course, didn't believe it, thinking, Psh, how could she?
Does she know who I am?
Does she know who I am? I mean, who's going to marry her? How dare you? So she
Mm.
loses weight, lots of weight, like a lot of weight. Like I'm thinking, like the way I'm understanding from like a size 18 to like a size 12.
Oh,
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm not trying
you
to.
don't know. You just putting it out there because I'm like,
Yeah, but like she really does look like a Coke bottle at this point in time. And suddenly she has curves and she has body parts that she didn't even know that she was available there before. And suddenly, yeah, so she loses a lot of weight. And then of course the way I see it is so she was so so she falls of course deeply in love with this gym trainer guy. And then she takes him home to the parents and of course guess what happens? Yes,
they don't like him.
of course, I didn't like him. The guy didn't have the pedigree. He wasn't the standard guy. They kept thinking, of course, so she takes him back home, as I understand. I'm trying to read the story as I wrote it.
Oh,
She
sorry,
takes
please
him back
repeat.
home, and then, of course, the guy goes, oh, well, look at that. Well, now we can actually have a conversation about our future. And she goes to the guy, sorry, no, I'm actually here to get married. Of course, the parents didn't allow it. They didn't like it. But
Mm.
my understanding is that she's still with the guy. She's still with the guy, and I don't know if they're still together, but the last I heard is that they at the time lived happily ever after, like Rapunzel and the guy. Who did
Yeah,
Rapunzel fall in love with?
I don't know. I don't
Did
remember
you
that
watch
story.
Rapunzel?
Rapunzel, all we know about her is that she had long hair. They'll fall
And she
down.
fell in
They'll
love with
climb
the
inside.
prince.
We don't know who the prince is. We don't care about the prince.
Not a prince, a thief who finally repents because Rapunzel happens to be a princess. She's put in a castle because. But let's not leave. Let's leave fairy tales. I'm trying to get to the point that this story becomes this girl's fairy tales. That's
Of
just the point
course.
I'm making.
And when you think about it, like my gym instructor, right? So all the gym instructors I've ever worked with, like when I was doing classes and stuff like that,
Mhm.
those ones I understand they don't make any money. But my trainer in COVID times, since COVID happened, this guy used to play for was it Toronto FC or so? Oh no, some smaller group. He
Mhm.
was on a football scholarship to come to Canada, and that's how he came to Canada. Like again, 0 ounce of fat on this man. But through COVID, because the gyms were closed, right, and you
They have
couldn't have
to
personal
virtual.
clients and all of that, he started doing classes, and I think he was charging like 180 or so.
Ah,
But I think every 6 weeks or so for the classes, and it gives you 1 hour regimes every day for the on Sundays for the entire week, and like I see emails, it's like maybe like 100 of us that is getting the emails I sent in. And when we were in yeah, and when we were at work, when during the COVID times, it was charging something that ridiculous for like a 6 week session. You're there twice a week. And now it starts at 5. So 20 people at 5, from 5 to 6, 20 people from 6 to 7, 20 people from 7 to 8, 20 people from 8 to 9. And then it now does, because, and if you go to the gym and you want to work with a trainer, I think some 10 sessions are like 300 or something ridiculously stupid like
mm-hmm.
that.
No,
So
it
if
is.
he has, exactly, so on top of that, he gets his daily salary. And now that he has this woman on his side, body by chosen, like when you become a celebrity trainer, people are coming to you just so they can punish them and tell them to do frog jump up and down. And his exercises are very, very, like,
That's it.
they're very practical. I mean, they're difficult, so don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes you work and you just want to cry that why have I done this to myself? But I see that they have a good future together. And I'm happy for them that they found each other. And the person that lost out on that, you know what, too bad.
Another what is that saying? Another man's food is another man's poison is another
Or
man's
like my
food.
sister says, like one man's fish, the other man's meat.
Well, listen. And so yeah, that's I mean, this is a happy story of a workplace romance that happened. It was pretty cute. And I heard it, I was like, wow, let's hope well yet. This has happened really. I'm very impressed about that actually, that she was able to find love and that she was able to tell the guy that please, you
I,
know,
I don't need
I
you.
don't
Like,
need I know that guy lost out. So I hear you there. I hear you there.
it did
I
with
hear you there. Well,
so.
I'm trying to keep to time today.
Oh
We had
yes,
a
look,
3 minute
I'm
time.
so sorry I overtalked you
No,
there.
no, 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 no. You didn't overtalk. I actually enjoyed the conversation. We could go on. I have more stories of this workplace romance thing. I want to say thank you to Mr. Bamishaye who commented. It is a scandalous moment there. That your story. I don't know. Tell me, but I like it. I like that people hear
Both
interesting
parts.
stories on our show. I want to thank you all for listening, coming in and tuning in and commenting and sending your stories in. Well, today is a fun, happy show. Coming up next couple of weeks, we want to start dealing with money, financial literacy, and paradigm shifts of your mind of what has held you back and why money. Some of us have spent the rest of our lives up until now chasing money, looking for money, finding it, looking again, can't find it, chasing it, double shift, triple shift, four shifts. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe it's something else that you could consider. Once again, we're not selling you a product. We're not telling you how to. This is not 10 steps to anything, but this is just a thought process shift. Hopefully, we can assist with that. So, once again, today was a happy Airy show. We're happy that you joined us. This is the Taya Onatan show with our friend Kemi. And we're here to talk about today workplace romance. And remember, the value moment for today is romantically. What was that, Kemi? What was that?
A romantically, or I mean, what to say? A romantically happy a romantically happy employee is a productive employee.
I am going to put that on a T-shirt. A romantically happy employee. He is a productive employee, and I will totally put that on a T-shirt and send it to my marketing department.
I
You
love that.
know, hashtag,
I think we should just I think we should all have that.
we should analyze that. It is important. If you care about my mental health, you might as well care about my romantic health. What do you think?
I think I don't have Bumble has something similar, but I think we need a what do you call it now? Like almost like Fishbowl. But we need a dating app that is particular to people in the workplace. So if you enter into a workplace, you join, you know, like all their group chats and stuff like that. And you can choose if you're single or or in a relationship. And that way other people like you and what your preferences are. A lot of people can do the same thing, and you guys can swipe left or right or whatever. You don't share us faces, you don't see names, but you just see profiles of people, and you can just swipe left or right. I think no, think about it. If every employer has that, that's a great thing. Or even like on the path to work in your building, you can turn it. I mean, Bumble does something like that, but I think they should have it specifically to the company. Like wherever you work should have that. So at least you know all the single people in your office and the two of you jam, you know.
I will tell you what though, if that was to happen and it was managed appropriately, um, I think that the work would be super productive because you
It
know
would
what?
be.
Everybody will be excited to wake up tomorrow to come to work, even dress up to show
Yes.
up to work.
We don't dress up anymore. I
You
find
know,
that when there's a romantic interest, suddenly my wardrobe changes. You know,
of
I'm
course
getting
it
dressed. I'm
does.
like, oh, okay, what meetings do I have? Oh, this person will be there. Oh, let me look something nice.
Well,
You know? So yeah, no, this was fun. I really enjoyed this topic. And hopefully we can bring in romance. I love a good romance.
of course, everybody does. Meet you. Guys, this is our show. I'm trying to be respectful of the time. I've been told by my producer that we talk too much. So I have to really be respectful on time today, today. So guys, thank you so much. God bless you all.
God bless
The
you.
inspiration of this show once again comes from the Holy Spirit. All the faults are mine. None of which should be attributed to God. I want to thank you all once again for showing up. Kemi, you are a blessing. You are blessed, and you are. I'm grateful to have you. Thank you, guys. I'm going to end the show now. See you
Bye.
next week. Talking about
Bye.
money. Thank you.
Bye.